Energetic here, and the beautiful day, and the time here is according to Pacific Standard Time. It's almost 10:30 p.m. in Vancouver, and in India, I think it must be 11 a.m. And let me introduce myself. My name is Mandeep Singh Baweja. I'm the course coordinator for Zeal Educare, and I'm responsible for organizing this Mega Education Canadian Fair 2021, which is organized in association with Dr. Jaspreet Khurana, who is director of our international admissions at Waheguru Meher Education Private Limited, and the Best Commerce Academy, New Delhi. And our guest speaker for today's webinar is Dr. Manpreet Khurana, who is Assistant Director of International Admissions at CDI College, Vancouver. And so we have organized this exclusive webinar for students of Best Commerce Academy and many other students who all are interested to build a better future by choosing to study in Canada, which is a land of opportunities, of course. And we will surely put our best efforts to help you choosing the right course in the best colleges and universities of Canada. First and foremost, I feel honored and I would like to thank Dr. Manpreet Khurana, the Director of International Admissions at CDI College, Vancouver, and our international partner in India, Dr. Jaspreet Khurana, for helping us arrange today's webinar session for students of Best Commerce Academy, New Delhi, and taking their valuable time out of their busy schedule. And I'm also gratified that Mr. Gunjandeep Singh of Best Commerce Academy has given this opportunity to share our expertise in Canadian education through today's live education fair held on Zoom. So let's not waste more time and welcome our today's guest, Dr. Manpreet Khurana, who will share his inspirational views and thoughts and inspire all the students who wanted to pursue their study in Canada. So I'm handing the session over to Dr. Manpreet Khurana.
Thank you very much, Mandipji. Just I request everyone to please keep your mics on the mute position uh, so that there is no disturbance at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. First, I would like to extend my thanks to Mr. Mandeep Baweja, who is the course coordinator, Mr. Gunjandeep Singh Kalra from Best Commerce Academy Director, and Dr. Jaspreet Khurana, International Admissions Coordinator. So today, our topic of discussion is student visa, and we'll be discussing all the guidelines for Canadian education. So the first and the foremost thing which comes into our mind when we talk about Canada is why to study in Canada. So Canada is a home of world's top academic institutions and universities. Canada is ranked amongst the top 10 countries of the world by United Nations in case of quality of life insurance. Canada is known for its excellent educational institutes, multiplicity of top quality educational programs in various streams, and developed economy that welcomes international students with open arms. Now, this is the information where you can go for all the queries. We'll also discuss this again in the end, where you can put your queries for this email ID and the phone number. Now, the best reasons to study in Canada. The first and the foremost reason is easiest and quick visa process. Now we'll discuss some of the details about it when we'll be talking about the visa process and how easy it is and how to get hold of it. Now, second thing is low tuition fee. Now, the best part is if you compare the tuition fee of Canadian institutions and Indian institutions, there are some courses which are even cheaper than India. So you'll be amazed by this fact that you can even take quality education, come to the best, one of the best countries in the world, and grab this opportunity of going for these universities with low tuition fee. There are some industrial internship opportunities. There are some courses with practicum. So we'll discuss what is practicum and internship. So some of the colleges and universities in Canada, they offer few internship opportunities as well. Some of the internship opportunities are paid, where you get paid when you're doing the internship. There are some practicums which are unpaid, but they give you experience, right? Now, these are internationally recognized degrees. Now, you can see there is a thing which is known as DLI. So let's focus on this thing, which is known as DLI. Now, DLI is Designated Learning Institute. Designated Learning Institutes. Now, what are these designated learning institutes? Now, this is the first and the foremost thing which we should all know. Any college or university in Canada which can cater international students has to be a designated learning institute, right? If they are not designated learning institutes, they are not eligible to cater international students. So if you come across any of the courses you want to pursue any field, the first and the foremost thing you need to check is whether the university or college is a designated learning institute or not. If it is a designated learning institute, you can go for it, it's safe. Because most of the times, this question comes into our mind, whether, going to this particular university or, institution is safe or not. So the first and the foremost thing we need to check is whether it is designated learning institute or not. Then high standard of living. Now, handsome salaries. Now, the best part with Canada is that the government of Canada has some recommendations, and there are some laws and regulations where every employer has to give a particular amount of money to each and every employee, right? So if you're working in Canada, even if you're working the basic job, you will be paid hourly. That's the best part, right? And when you're getting paid hourly, right, and your starting salaries are even, there's a base salary which is fixed. So you get minimum salary, minimum wages, right? You will get that. So if you are, qualified, if you do some courses from Canada, you might be eligible for some handsome salaries. Then pathway to easy permanent residency. Now, you might be wondering that why to choose Canada again. Now, Canada is a country which offers permanent residency. So if you apply for PR in Canada or permanent residency, you can be a resident of Canada. Now, the beauty of this thing is that you get a lot of benefits. Your medical is free. So all the medical, facilities are free in Canada. If you are a permanent resident, even if you're a student, you will get all the facilities, right? Your medical will be free, right? On top of that, once you are a permanent resident and somebody, who has a kid, right? So the education of the kids is totally free till grade 12. On top of that, the medical is free. So education is also free for all the kids, right? There is a postgraduate work permit opportunity. So most of the public colleges and universities, so public means government. So in India, we call them government. In Canada, we call them public. So all the public colleges and universities in Canada, they are eligible for postgraduate work permit. Now, let me tell you, the postgraduate work permit means once you complete your course in Canada, you get this work permit to work in Canada on a legal account, right? So there are two types of work permits which you get. If you complete a course for 1 year in Canada, you get 1 year of postgraduate work permit. But if you complete a course greater than 18 months, or I would say 1.5 years, you get 3 years of work permit. So I would suggest if you look for any of the courses in Canada, look for a course which is greater than 18 months so that you can stay in Canada for long 3 years. Because once you stay here for 3 years, after 1 year of Canadian experience, you are eligible for permanent residency in Canada. So you can get the permanent residency as well. So this is one of the most important points I would say when you're looking for any of the courses, just look for it that the course has to be like more than 18 months, because in that case, you will get 3 years of postgraduate work permit. Now the requirements. Now every college or university has got different requirements, right? Some colleges or universities, their requirements are different as compared to others, right? The first and the foremost thing is you need to give an English exam, which is known as IELTS. In case of studies or study permit, the type of IELTS you give is known as academic IELTS. There are two types of IELTS, general and academic. The general one is for permanent residency, academic is for study permits or study visa, right? For any kind of education, you have to give this particular exam. Now, there are 4 modules. you will be learning about it when you will be going for this exam. So out of these 4 modules, you need to get at least minimum band score, right? So every college or university has different requirement, as I said. So depending on the course, the college or the university, there are different requirements, right? So you need to give this exam to get admission in any of the college or university. If you are from a non-English speaking country, so India is considered to be non-English speaking country, so we have to give this exam before we apply for any of the education in Canada. Now, once you go for any kind of course, for example, if you go for hospitality management, or if you go for MBA or Masters of Business Application or Administration, in those cases, there are some course requirement as well, that you have to be graduate, you need to get this particular percentage. So that varies from course to course. So they are also the requirements, right? So one requirement is IELTS. Definitely, you have to give IELTS for sure. And the second requirement is individually, like specific to like colleges or universities. Once you complete those requirements, you get the LOA. LOA means letter of acceptance. Once you get the letter of acceptance from a college or university, so the next step is we apply for the study permit, right? So first we have to get the admission in a college or university, then we apply for the study permit. Now, based on that, the visa officer takes your application and you get the study permit, and then you can enter Canada. Once you enter Canada, you get some work experience, right? So this is the circle, how it works. And this is how you get your education and work permit and study permits in Canada. Now, let's take in some Q&A sessions. Now, what we'll be doing is, anybody who wants to ask any question, they can raise their hand. So there is a raising hand option in Zoom app. So you can raise your hand, or if you want to ask any questions, so you can just raise your hand and then you can unmute and talk to me. Whatever questions you have, I'll be able to answer. Yeah, so anybody who wants to ask, okay. So I can see Garima Basin. Okay, let me unmute. Yeah. So you can ask your question.
Sir, I would like to know about SDS stream, student direct stream, and what is non-SDS and what is SDS?
Okay, so there are two types of streams. One is known as SDS and another is known as non-SDS. Non-SDS. Now, SDS means student direct stream. Now, this stream is specifically indicated for only few countries. So country like India is included in the list of SDS. Now, this is a type of stream where we apply for the study permit. Now, what happens in this stream is, if your IELTS score is greater than 6 or equal to 6 in each module, so there are 4 modules. If your IELTS score is 6 or greater than 6 in all 4 modules, and you get a GIC. So GIC is a type of investment which you make in Canada, right? This is a type of certificate, guaranteed investment certificate. Any of the Canadian banks, you can get it for $10,000. So it's like $10,000 GIC certificate you need to get. So these are the 2 requirements. If you fulfill these 2 requirements, you can get the study permit within 12 to 15 business days. So for example, if you apply for any of the courses, you get the offer letter from the college or university. When you apply for the study permit under this category, if your IELTS score is grade 6 or greater than 6 in each module, and you get a GIC in Canada, right, you can apply under this stream, which is known as SDS stream, and you can get your study permit within 12 to 15 business days. So this is the fastest way of getting study permit. Okay. Any other question? Okay.
So in SDS stream, the chances of getting visa is little stronger than non-SDS, or is it equivalent to non-SDS stream as well? I mean, there's no point.
So the first and the foremost thing is, under SDS category, your file is already strong, right? Because you're getting your IELTS score is 6 or greater than 6. So the probability of getting a visa is slightly like better. I won't say it's like SDS people are getting more visa and non-SDS. Non-SDS people do get visas, because SDS is actually for particular countries. So if a person who is applying for a country which is not under the SDS category, In those countries also they get visas. Like a person from Nigeria, they can also apply. They get visas, right? So I won't say the probability of getting a visa depends on your file, right? So if your statement of purpose is good, if your documentation is great, there's no point getting it refused. Okay, so there are some questions which I can read. Somebody asked, sir, it's better to go before or after graduation? That's a good question, I would say, because it's always first of all, it depends on your preference. Some people prefer to go after grade 12, some people prefer to go after graduation. But I would say if you go after graduation, you already have like international experience, right, as well as international education. So if you come here on a master's degree, your probability of getting PR becomes faster and you can get a permanent residency. But nowadays the scenario has changed. The government of Canada has introduced some new pathways wherein students who are in Canada, they can get their permanent residency without even like getting much of the work experience or something. So I would say that taking to current scenario, it's better to come as soon as possible. Because in India, if you take any education and if you like, go for further things, I would say if you want to come to Canada, it's better to come to Canada as soon as possible. Okay. Sir, what is PNP? So PNP is entirely different concept. It's provincial nomination program. So this we can discuss if we have a webinar based on immigration. Now this webinar is only for study permits. So we'll focus right now on study permits. If you have questions, you can email the email address which I have given. You can email there and we'll take your queries in another webinar when we'll be talking about immigration. So this is related to immigration provincial nomination programs where every province has different nomination criteria. Next question I can see on the screen is, sir, how is bachelor's in social work as course to pursue? This is actually a course specific question, right? So any course specific question, again, we can discuss based on your profile, what's your qualification, your criteria. So there are a lot of things. For any individual case, we need to discuss individually. So I would say if you have any question related to your individual concern, it's better you email us and then we'll take your queries from there. So our Indian coordinators, international coordinators, they will take care of all your queries. What they will do is they will take in the queries, talk to you, follow you up, and then whatever queries you have, they will talk on phone and they'll do the follow-up, and then they will pass on the file to me, and then we can discuss what is best for you. What is the minimum finance required to study in Canada? This is a good question. I'm not saying other questions are not good. They are actually specific, so we need more discussion. This is a generalized question that the minimum finance requirement. This is a question which comes into everybody's mind. Now, why? Now, the minimum finance required to study in Canada, I would say, is the first and the foremost thing is you need to have GIC. GIC is like investment certificate, which is for $10,000. You need to get it done. So $10,000 should be there. On top of that, $10,000 to $12,000 should be there in your account. On top of that, the course fees depends on the course. The minimum courses are like $14,000 to $15,000. You can get a course, or some courses are expensive. So it depends what kind of course you want, right? So, okay, next question. Let me just see what is it. Okay, sir, is IELTS better or CELPIP? I would say IELTS is much better because IELTS is, there are a lot of study materials available. You can get a lot of help, and IELTS has got descriptors and there is a pattern, right? So I would say IELTS is better. It's all your preference. If you want to go for other exams, you can, but IELTS is like accepted everywhere. But which course is best for commerce with IB? Again, specific question. You need to email. So as parents, we have never gone abroad. Which is a better place for children, India or abroad? Okay. So now I don't want to say anything, where it can create dispute. Which country is better, India or I'm from India, so I'll not say anything. For Canada or India, but I would say it's all your preference. If you would like to come to Canada, it's a beautiful country, but you'll always be Indian. So it's not that you are leaving India, right? It will be there in your heart. Still, India is in my heart, even if I'm in Canada, right? India is a wonderful place, but Canada is like good in terms of job prospects, money making, opportunities, weather. There's no pollution. Corruption, I would say it's less in Canada as compared to India. Now, rest, I'll not speak anything Okay, what are the possibilities and opportunities for pursuing CPA? This question we can discuss. I have we have worked upon some students who specifically wanted to be CPA. So this is a specific question we can discuss. I know all the pathways how to be a CPA in Canada. Is it better after BCom degree or master's? Again, specific question, email, sir, how we can get scholarship. Again, scholarship is like individual, it varies from university to college. Some colleges they provide scholarship, some don't. So this again will be taken care of by the Indian International Coordinator, and they will help you get the scholarship, and all the things will be done uh, with your queries. Okay, I think there is a hand raised by Mr. Vivek Grover. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, on behalf of some students, I have a question. That after completing their education, if they go for the undergrad or postgrad, what kind of job is preferred to get the PR easy?
Okay, so there are some NOC, National Occupation Code, right? So NOC code OAB jobs, we'll also discuss it, when we'll be taking the webinar for immigration. So they are known as NOC O/A/B. Only these categories of jobs are eligible for PR. Rest all jobs are not eligible for PR. So for example, if a person who is working as a server or a person who is working as a food counter attendant, those work experiences are not eligible directly for PR. You need to be, for example, admin assistants. They are considered as NOC B. Some kind of managerial jobs, supervisorial jobs, assistant managers, managers. These kind of jobs are eligible for getting permanent residence, not other jobs, right? There's a huge list we can discuss in detail when we're talking about immigration stuff. Right now, we are just talking about, yeah, but this is a question which we can relate, that after you complete your studies, you are on postgraduate work permit, so you need to get your jobs in NOC code OAB. So these are the categories where you need to get a job and have your work experience to be eligible for permanent residency.
Thank you, sir.
This we can discuss in detail as well. You can email and then we'll take on forward.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, Garima Basinji. Yeah, what's the question? Okay. Okay, any other question anybody has? You can write in the chat box. I think I've taken care of all the questions in chat box, right? So the individual specific questions related to any course, you can email, we can chat, or we can talk about that particular course. And we have discussed an overview, how to get the study permit, how to get into Canada, how to get the postgraduate work permit, how to get permanent residency in future. There is one question in the chat box again. If we okay, could you send your email ID again? Score to clear IELTS. Yeah. So let me just go to that page where you can see our email IDs. Okay, so for queries, you can email at this email ID or you can call on this number. Okay. So let me see, there is one more question, I believe. Okay, score to clear IELTS, I would say at least 6 in each is good for any college. 6.5 in each is good for any university. 7 in each for some specific higher courses. So that's a maximum, some university or colleges. So in my case, I've been graduate 2017, from then I'm working regularly. So if I want to opt for study in Canada, okay, so anything is possible in Canada. It depends how we present your case, how we can convince a visa officer. This is a very common question asked by many students, wherein they ask questions, I am 36 years old, I am 35 years old, can I study in Canada? So Canadian system caters every student, whatever the age, but there is, the probability of getting the study permit decreases as your age increases. It's slightly more difficult as compared to graduates. So I would say it's all about how we present your case, how we apply your file. So you should have an expert with you, preferably a licensed person who can help you apply for the same. Okay. So next question, need to coordinate. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So I would say, I think we need to end this presentation here because now we are running out of time. So I'll
Okay.
hand over the to this quick run, and he'll be taking care of it. And you can anytime email your queries or ask your questions on the phone number given.
Yeah,
Thank you.
actually, sorry to interrupt in between. We have only 5 minutes left for the meeting to end. And thank you, Manpreet, for sparing your valuable time. But yes, still, I request everyone to please rejoin the meeting and you can ask your questions for further. And I'll be sharing the details again on which you can make a phone call, the Indian local numbers where you can make a phone call and we'll be taking up your leads. We will be sharing the email IDs again in the chat box so that you guys can note down. And we are also offering you some deals for today, only for today. So please join the meeting again. We are ending this webinar and we'll be starting it again within 2 minutes. So rejoin the meeting and Manpreet will be taking up the questions again for another 10 minutes. And we will be thanking to our guest because we have our honorable guest, Mr. Vivek Grover, honorable guest, Mr. Mukesh Lal. So we will be giving a vote of thanks to them. We'll be joining again in another 2 minutes. Manpreet, please, you can end the meeting and restart it, and then we can take up the questions again. Thank you very much. Kindly rejoin again, please.
Okay. Thank you.